Excuse me, do you know where the pinball is? Can you help me find the pinball? I just can't seem to find that darn pinball. I think I finally found the pinball. Hello, welcome to Hello, I am Clutch, where I am here today at the Pinball Hall of Fame in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, I've never been here before, but I'm really excited to go here because this is somewhat of kind of like a humongous hall of pinballs with a little bit of museum and history involved with it, where it's apparently completely free to enter, and then you can play a lot of old pinball machines for quarters, like legitimate quarters. And so I'm really excited to take you here, take you around, show you what do they have on offer, what are all the fun things you can find inside, because I think there's a little bit more than pinball. I think there's some old games as well. So I'm excited to kind of show you some of those kind of whatever's here as well. I am right near the airport, so I'm sorry if the audio is a little weird. I think it'll be quieter once we get inside. But anyway, let's go check out the Pinball Hall of Fame. And I just want to take an extra second to appreciate this magnificent sign. This is just the neon, the size of it is just quite incredible. I'm not going to probably be here at night, otherwise I'd love to see it lit up. But just want to again show that it is near the Mandalay Bay. You can, I think, walk from the Mandalay Bay. I think it's about 20 minutes if you want to do that, but otherwise there is free parking here, and again, it is free to come inside. And then, as you see at the end of there, is the humongous kind of billboard-like building that says Pinball, beckoning you in to pin those balls. That's a little racy for Clutch. So right before we walk in, just want to show the posted hours. Sunday through Thursday, open from 10 to 9, and on Friday and Saturday, open from 10 to 10. All right, let's go inside. Let's see what's on offer. Oh, big, oh, windy door. Ooh, oh wow. This is a big warehouse. There's a lot of aisles here. So might do a little bit of tour and might show you just what we got. So again, it is free to enter, and then all the games are paid to play. They have a bunch of change machines at the front to get legitimate quarters, and if you don't have any cash on you, they do have ATMs to help you out. So anyway, let's take a look around and see what we can find. So I've been trying to figure out the best way to show this place to you, because I don't necessarily want to show you me playing pinball, so I think I might just go up and down the aisles a little bit, show you some of the highlights. So I'm gonna start all the way to the left. There is, again, fun stuff here. They got a gumball machine right there, but anyway, let's start going over here. Oh my gosh, they got an old pachinko machine. That's awesome. Anyway, oh, and then look at this. This is open. That's cool. Ooh, 5th inning pinball baseball? I don't even know. That's cool. Anyway, there is a lot of stuff here. Now, a lot of these don't have the lights on. Something I have read is sometimes it takes a lot to maintain these machines, so they're not all gonna be necessarily in working order. But this is really nice. There's a lot of really fun stuff here. Looks like these are some of the older ones. We got Buck Rogers up there, Spacewalk, Fireball. A lot of really cool stuff over here. Cleopatra, Countdown. So this is pretty cool. I think all this, we got a Wipeout one here. So something I love about pinball machines is how when you look close at them, they all have different skill shots, different things. Like this one is this one's called Cue Ball Wizard, and it's very obviously billiards themed, and it's just got a fun set of things here where it looks like a lot of times you're trying to hit that 8-ball there. I just love that there's so many different variety of things that you might be trying to do with pinball. Now this is cool. Look at this. This one's open, so you can see the underside of the pinball machine. It is unbelievably intricate. I can't even say it. It's such a hard word. Intricate how these things work. So if you check this out, this one's open too. It's just really cool. Oh my gosh, there's so much to show you here. So just want to kind of show you then the other side for me is a whole bunch of classic video games. So you got your Galagas, your Donkey Kongs, your Burger Times, your Dig Dugs. A lot of great stuff over there. This is just fun, honestly, just to walk around all this, see all this, is just pretty fantastic. So something that's really cool on a lot of these machines is they give a little bit of history or facts about it. Like this one is called Firepower from Williams. And if you look here, it says it's one of only 17,410 that were built, and they give you some information. So that's something cool if you look at closely. That's kind of the museum part of it. Oh, look, these are looking pretty old here. So these are like relics of the past in a really fun way. So like, let's look at this one here. Top card. It says that it was made in September of 1974. So again, looking at these cards is kind of neat. It gives you some interesting facts, some information. It might tell you like when were they manufactured. And so it's just fun to look at all these. And some of these, what I like is that they're not all necessarily just straight up pinball. This one's called Flying Turns. This looks like it's kind of race cars themed. So that's kind of just fun. This one is called Hay Burners 2. Now, I have not seen Hay Burners 1, so I'm lost. Galahad! I believe that's a parody of Monty Python and the Holy Grail, if I had to guess. Photo Finish, which is spelled F-O-T-O. That's photo finish. It's a little bit different there. Just a lot of really fun stuff to look at. So that's just one aisle. Let's go to the other aisles. I like this one here. This one's called Twin Joker. It looks like what you're trying to do is basically, you look at the back there, there's different poker hands. Like, well, I say different, it's all 4 of a kinds. So I guess what you're trying to do is get the ball and get 4 of a kinds to light it up. That's just something fun that's a little bit different. Or I guess, yeah, look, there's a whole list of the hands. There's 5 of a kind, Royal Flush. So, you know, I was looking at what was lit up, and I thought it was all 4 of a kinds. It's just a deck of cards clutch. Jeez, oh, this is out of order, but it is just, I like all the piping. I wish I could see it work. It looks like it was a gumball machine. That just would have had some craziness. Got some relatively, I believe, modern pinball machines here. We got Stranger Things. It's got some screens and interesting things there. Got a couple of Jaws ones. There's Jaws 1, and here's Jaws 2. Now, I don't see a Jaws 3D. We got Venom. I guess John Wick pinball. I guess that's a big deal. But this is special to me, and I'm very sad that it's out of order. So this is one of the most classic Jurassic Park pinball machines there is. I grew up with a friend who had this pinball machine, so I got very familiar with how it worked and how to play it, so it was very, very fun for me. My favorite thing was, though, that if you got a ball just down there, the Tyrannosaur would eat it, and then it would start a whole bunch of shenanigans. Oh, I forgot. This is, you know, I do this in so many of my videos. Excuse me. So yeah, a lot of really cool old style pinball machines with like analog scores and everything like that. A lot of them do seem like the lights are off. I'm not sure if they aren't working. I think when it really truly is out of order, they do try to tell you like out of order. So just because the lights are off maybe doesn't mean they're not working, but there is a lot of interesting things around here. This one's kind of funny over here. This is called Tee Off. Clearly emulating Caddyshack there. I don't more Caddyshack 2 than Caddyshack 1 when you look at that. But there's a lot of fun stuff with golf balls, a gopher hole. Some of these are fantastic. This one is called Time Machine, and it might be the most dangerous one in the entire place because there is no glass on the top, and if a ball were to fly and hit you, that would be quite painful. Here's one for all you Doctor Who fans, and it's classic Doctor Who. It's only the first, if you look closely, it's only the first 7 Time Lords. There's a lot more now. They do have a Dalek at the top, and you can shoot into the TARDIS over here. You know, I think one reason I like this so much, pinball in general, is that it's a lot of miniatures, and I love miniatures. If you've seen my video where I went to the Time Museum of Miniatures in Tucson, Arizona. This one's awesome. Whole lot of little books, whole lot of miniatures. Like, and if you zoom in, like, you can even see, like, on the actual books themselves, like, they are very intricately done. They are like real covers. Or if you saw my video where I went to Magic Town in Colorado Springs, let's go see what Magic Town actually looks like. Let's go see the big show. Oh my gosh. This is Magic Town. I just love miniatures. I'll probably have links to those below, so you can, if you're kind of into pinball because of miniatures as well, I have fun videos of other kind of miniatures that I'll show you. But let's keep going here. Again, we got some other stuff. We got Death Race. It's a race to the death. these two already seem dead. It's just a dead race. I don't understand. But if you want some information, Death Race, released by Exidy in April of 1976. It became a worldwide media frenzy for teaching vehicular violence. Wow. This is one I feel like I've seen a lot throughout my days, is just South Park. Like, I think this is like a really classic version of South Park. They don't have an information sticker on this one, but like I feel like I've probably seen this 50 times in my life in various places. So that's just kind of fun to see that one here. And here we have an Indiana Jones one. I think there's actually like a variety of Indiana Jones slot machines that exist out there, but I kind of like this one because it covers all of the movies, because you got the Ark of the Covenant, so Raiders of the Lost Ark. You have the rocks, which were from the second one, the Temple of Doom. You have the Grail? Yes, the Holy Grail, right? That brought the extra life from the Last Crusade. And then, of course, there was only 3 movies, so there's nothing else to talk about. So I really hope you do like Dungeons and Dragons: The Tyrant's Eye, because I have 4 of those. But if you need something else, they do have the Uncanny X-Men. They have 2 of those. Something fun to show above that is they have the Pinball Hall of Fame leaderboard. So I guess for some of them, you can see the high scores on this board here. So that's kind of cool. I kind of enjoyed that. And then something else in this middle section I just like is this kind of little bit of theming. They got this pinball track with the pinball up there as well. You see that right there? A pinball. That's just a fun little extra bit of theming in this big warehouse of a place. I was just noticing they got these cute little flipper tables in the middle. Adorable. Some more very classic pinball machines. You know, back when there wasn't like a bunch of IP, it wasn't very well themed. It literally was just Kingpin, or Volley, or Ship Ahoy. And pretty simple, pretty straightforward. It's really just about hitting bumpers, no real special things. But that didn't take away from it being a lot of fun. I do enjoy this one. We got Buckaroo, and then we got Cowpoke. And if you look kind of close, it's pretty much the exact same thing, just with a different name, and it's barely even, I was gonna say different colors, but it's barely even any different. I'm just gonna walk past this guy because I want to see if we can hear the fun sound effects. Do you hear that? Those are some fun sound effects. I just love the classic sound of like the actual analog stuff moving. Ooh, that's cool. Look at this. Ooh. I like the sound of like those old bells, those old the actual like the score counting. That's really just super classic pinball vibe. Now this is pod racing. Got some skee ball back here, but something I really like is this kind of full-size operation game. Operation, where you're the doctor. No thank you. Is a water on the knee? Operation, a whole bucket, see? Operation, a Charlie horse, it's true. Operation, I'm the doctor for you. Operation. I'm a 90s kid. This is particularly cool. I feel like when I've seen dome things like this, it's usually like hockey with people on sticks where you kind of move them back and forth in that way. I've never seen a basketball game like this. This apparently was made in 1966. This is really cool. So it looks like the ball would fall into the different holes, and so you see there's a 4 and a 12, and so depending on what side you're on, you would hit this to try to like move the ball, I guess, in the direction you want it to. That is really cool. And then over here, here's another cool thing. I love these really, really old things. This is an old hockey game. It's called Slapshot, like the movie. And it's just like super simple. Just 2 guys on each side. Does this move it? Oh yeah, look at that. So that's awesome. I just the classic nature of this type of game, the simplicity and analogness of it really, really gets to me. So I was mentioning how when I see those dome type of games, it's usually hockey. This is exactly what I was talking about, where you have these different sticks on each side, and this would move your player. You see that over there, it moves it back and forth. You move that around to do it. You can move this guy side to side to get your goalie, and there'd be like a little puck that flops out, and it would keep score up top. And this is just, this is very classic to me. This is something I played a lot as a kid. So continuing around, we got a lot of kind of like, not super modern, but like I feel like very classic, like diner over here. This feels like a very classic pinball machine to me. You got Royal Rumble with Hulk Hogan, Macho Man up there. A lot of fun people here. Oh gosh, it's still got the WWF and everything. That's great. But something that I feel like is very, very classic is this one over here, the Addams Family. I feel like this is one of the most common ones that I ever saw. But like the Addams Family Pinball, where like, yeah, obviously you got Fester there, and you got Thing, and I think one thing that I saw a lot was that on the top there used to be like a fan, so like if you did certain things it would blow air at you, but that's not on this one. I don't know if that was an extra piece or came at a later time, but I do feel like I've seen the Addams Family Pinball Machine like 1,000 times in my life. Here's 50 cents. Go play a Star War. So I know we've been seeing on and off some of the things that aren't pinball, but one of my favorite kind of things was a game just like this. This one's called Line Drive. Something I really love about this, so I believe a ball would shoot out from here. You try to hit it with using these panels here, and it would hit those little things in the back to cause little, you get single, triple, out, double, whatever, home run. And my favorite thing was that it had little kind of cardboard, or I don't know if they're cardboard, but like little metal pieces that would pop up, and they'd come out and go around here to indicate where they were on the actual baseball diamond. And I, as a kid, found that to be one of the coolest things ever. And it's really cool to see this in person here. They also have, next to it, a bowling machine. Now, it's obviously not working right now. You can see some of the inner workings there, but I like that. And then keeping on going a little bit, got a few more variations of that baseball machine that I just, again, it's all like the same kind of idea, but I think they're really cool. Oh gosh, there's something about the analog nature of it, the actual workmanship, the craftsmanship of it, just really just is awesome. I feel like you don't see it exactly like this anymore. It's on a different scale these days, but it's always just, to me, great to go to places where they have these kind of like old machines on display to be seen and sometimes to be played. Oh my goodness, they have Wacky Gator. Oh my god, I played this at Chuck E. Cheese when I was a kid an unbelievable amount of times. You used to, oh my god, the way this worked is what they used to have. They don't have one here. They had like basically a big fake mallet that you would use. These alligators would come out. If you see them there, they would come out and you had to hit them so that it would count as a point, and they'd come out sporadically. And the real key of the game was, don't use the mallet, use your hands and play with two people, and you wouldn't miss anything, and you would get the high score like nobody's business. Oh my gosh, definitely gonna have to play this one if it's working. Half of these don't work. Oh gosh. Ouch. Doesn't work. Ouch. Oh gosh. This one's called Banzai Run, and it's pretty cool because it has both a regular section, as you can see down here, and a vertical section. So it looks like it's kind of off-roading motorcycle themed, and so that's interesting. There's like, if you look in the back here, there's more flippers. So I guess you can get up there and have craziness happen. I don't know if I've actually ever seen something like that. That's cool. Couple of the most classic games I've ever known. First we got Off-Road over here, where you had the wheel but also the actual pedal down there to make your car go. That was great. And then the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game. Oh my gosh, the amount of times I played this one, it is many. Here's another really cool one. This is Dragon's Lair, I guess 20th anniversary edition. But the thing, I've always found this to be cool because basically it was like almost like playing an animated movie. But and the reason for that is, if you see, this was from Don Bluth. If you don't know Don Bluth, he made a lot of very interesting animated movies in like the 80s and 90s that you have probably seen, or maybe you haven't. I don't want to get them wrong on the top of my head. I believe American Tail was one he did. If you know, I think All Dogs Go to Heaven Definitely Fiable Goes West, because that was one, or at least it was part of Don Bluth's company. Basically, if I remember the story correctly about Don Bluth, is he was an animator for Disney, and he either got let go, or they didn't want to do some of the darker things he wanted to do, because I think he also did like Secret of Nim, things like that eventually, and I think he split off from them and did his own thing and made a lot of really dark, or relatively dark movies from the 80s that involved that were animated, and I really appreciate the work of Don Bluth. And I'll put some of the other movies on the screen that he did so that you can see that, because I know this is a random thing. Did not expect to talk about this while I was here, but I feel like he's an important one to know about. One that is special to me is Rock-a-Doodle. I feel like nobody knows that one, but that involves live action and animation, and it is fantastic. And then we got a Super Mario Brothers one over here. This is awesome. I remember this quite well. I played this quite a lot, but there's actually one that I think might be a variation of this that's here. I've seen it in other videos. It's actually like a shorter one that's more yellow, and if I can find that, I'll be very excited to show it to you. But what I thought was cool about this is that basically it was like playing Super Mario World, where you got different levels up, and based on what you do in the game, you would light up different lights to complete different castles, and just the way that they kind of translated a video game into a pinball machine was always really cool. Oh, I found the Super Mario shorty that I was talking about. So this one's Super Mario Brothers Mushroom World. This is the one that I knew more than anything. You can see it's actually lower to the ground, because again, I was at like a Chuck E. Cheese type place, so I think it was really for kids. But like, you can see, like, compared to other ones, even actually that one's actually shorter too, but like, this is, it's not as long as many. Like, you don't really see a lot like this, and I remember this one better than the one that I showed you a moment ago. So again, but it still had that worlds completed thing versus castles completed, and I love this one more than anything. I've been saying that a lot, but I've actually, as I'm going around here, I'm surprised how many pinball machines I'm more intimately familiar with than I would have thought before I came in here. Another of the most classic arcade cabinets for me was the Simpsons game. I played this probably even more than the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one. I love this one more than anything. If I could have one in my home, it would be this one. This one's pretty great. This is like, it's almost like duck pin bowling, where it's out of order, unfortunately, but I guess the pins would come down. I'd love that the ball would actually roll along here to come there, and you throw it there and knock all the pins back up, and it was a great game. So this one's called Captain Fantastic, but the main reason I want to show it to you is because it's in the light and it's open, so you can really see well the underside here of all the wires and the intricacy of how crazy it is to make some of this work. Now this is an old machine, meaning it's not as modern with as many like tricks and things on the top part. Like if you can try to peek on the top part, it's a little bit more. It's a little bit more just hitting the bumpers and such, but it's still very cool, and you can see just the way the machines would work. And there's some great videos out there that show the insides of how these look and how they work, and it is so complex. I mean, you can see how busy it is in here, and I just think it's fantastic. Like, I do not have the brain to figure this kind of stuff out, and the fact that people did in like the 60s and the 70s is just astounding to me. So I just wanted to kind of show this to give that a little bit of appreciation. They even have a couple of Moldoramas here that are unfortunately both out of order, but it's cool that they have them, that it says Disneyland Toy Factory and everything. And I mean, that's awesome. Like, you can even see there is an actual mold in there. I wish that it was working. I would absolutely have bought one of these, but the fact that I haven't seen one in person in a very long time. So seeing this right now is just, this is wonderful. I love that this place has so much more than just the pinballs, because it's been a lot of fun looking at all this. Here we have a Zoltan. Normally I see a Zoltar. So this one's interesting. This was made apparently in 1969. I believe he also went to the moon in 1969. Not a year sooner. Anyway, it looks like you put in a quarter, or you almost put in a quarter. It might be stuck there. And then you pick up the receiver to listen. Hello? Zoltan? Oh, it's a receiver. You're supposed to listen, not talk into. Anyway,
Yeah, I wish that would work, but maybe we'll try it later. But otherwise, Zoltan, not Zoltar. They got a lot of wacky stuff here. So like, if you just want a barrel of slime for 75 cents, they got you covered. And then if it's time for tractor time, and you want a barrel of slime that way, they got you covered. And then over here, if you want some apparently classic garbage pail kids and a humongous gumball machine, they got you covered. So here's another Indiana Jones. This is Indiana Jones, and it's hard to see in the back there. Indiana Jones and the Pinball Adventure. That makes sense, that checks out. But I mean, I love how busy this one is with all the Indiana Jones stuff. But what is fun is that the trigger for this one is a gun. It would make a lot more sense if it was a whip, but I don't think that works super well for pinball. This one's neat. I think this is called Challenger, and it's like a two-person pinball machine. So like, it looks like this is almost on a seesaw, and it might go up and down, and you might like play pinball back at each other. That's fascinating. I don't know. It seems kind of like air hockey. So that's kind of a fun one. Oh yeah, here's a fun little kind of sheet here that tells you about it. So this was made in March of 1971. There's only 110 built. This is number 104. So here we got a Gilligan's Island one with what I know is probably actually hand-drawn Gilligan's Island back in the day, but it looks kind of AI-drawn Gilligan's Island, to be honest. But what's neat about this one is not only do I like, obviously, the Gilligan's Island theme, but they have the manual here. They have the operation manual. So it included like how to you could adjust it, how to test it. So something that I know a little bit about with pinball machines that's interesting is like, they don't just come in a certain way. You can design it to be like 50 cents to make it play, $1 to make it play. You can make you can adjust the actual what makes a free game, like what score you get to get a free game. And there's other little like bits that you can adjust when you own the machine. It's all in there, as you've seen. When it can be when it's under there, but I think just seeing a manual here is just pretty cool. Hey kids, play with Peppy, the musical clown. Pass. Oh my God, they have a metal typer. I haven't seen a metal typer in years. I can't remember. I used to see one all the time at I think a pizza place I went to. They used to have one of these. Basically, you slide this around to where what letter you want, and then you would you would basically do that, pull that to print the letter, and then when you were done, you'd pull this. I always had fun just as a kid spinning this thing, pulling this, pulling that. It was completely free to do that. Didn't have to pay quarters to get the token. I never actually got a token, so might have to do that. Well, it ain't perfect, but I finally have one. Hello, I am Clutch. They do also have some T-shirts at the front that you can take home, and then they have even more T-shirts, and even more T-shirts, and even more T-shirts, and even more T-shirts, and then hoodies. So at least they're mixing it up. But then they got even more hoodies. And even more hoodies. And then back to T-shirts. And then hats. All right, well, I think that's gonna about do it for a little tour around the Pinball Hall of Fame. This place was fun. It was cool. A lot of cool pinball machines, a lot of cool other stuff as well. So it was neat to walk around, and honestly, you could come in here for free, not play a thing, and still have a good time. But again, a lot of quarters at the machines. You can spend $5, $10, be here for a really long time, possibly, depending on how good you are at pinball. Now, if you do want to see a few more videos around the Vegas area, fun things to do, I got a whole playlist of them right up here. A lot of great videos in there to go see. But if you want something else that might interest you, this video is a good one as well. So maybe I'll see you in one of those real soon. But until then, I will say goodbye. I am still Clutch.